right. Well, good Tuesday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Jason Peterson, and we have a lot of weather to go on and talk about for tonight. As you can see by the main title screen right now, extreme heat meets severe storms this week, and we have a tropics update to talk about because we have a new area that just popped up that we may have to keep an eye on. But for right now, we're going to get into that, as we move later on to the forecast. But for right now, the main thing, extreme heat meets severe storms. And we even have some severe storms going on right now throughout the state as we speak. But what's on tap for tonight? What are we going to talk about? Hot and humid conditions persist into the weekend. Another round of strong to severe storms possible tomorrow. Mostly isolated to diurnal storms Thursday and Friday, and slight temperature relief possible by Sunday. But humidity keeps heat indices elevated. And that's really the main thing that we're going to talk about as we move over into tonight. But first off, if you have not hit the like button yet or the subscribe button yet, please go on and do so. We're at 822. Trying to get to that main goal of 900. Go on and hit the subscribe button, like button, and then share. Share with your friends, your family members, your acquaintances, people that you don't talk to regularly because it's free, and it always will be free. Starting off, what's going on right now throughout the entire state of South Carolina? Well, we had a bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings that was with us a couple of minutes ago, but some of them have downgraded now into a just regular special weather statement with wind gusts of up to 50 miles per hour. And I think the main thing that we're kind of looking at here is these severe storms that just went through Spartanburg, Greenville, had a severe storm at one point down here near Abbeville. Abbeville's about to receive a severe storm with up to 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and an inch in diameter hail. Also, seeing some storms moving through Rock Hill, Lancaster. Storms had already moved through Chesterfield, but now they're about to move into Bennettsville, going into Society Hill and Hartsville, South Carolina, where we are now seeing two special weather statements with winds of up to 40 miles per hour. One of them even over here around 50 miles per hour. So things are looking pretty active, especially in the upstate and in the PD areas. But even if you look in the Midlands, we have some storms right now going on over here near St. Matthews, going on near Sandy Run, and just kind of following along I-26 down in between Columbia and Orangeburg. But for the most part, that's pretty much all. I mean, there is a couple more things kind of going on here and there, but those are the main things that we're kind of looking at throughout the state. So yes, severe thunderstorms are here. If you are inside of the severe thunderstorm warning or the special weather statement over here, make sure that you're paying attention for those storms, making sure that you're inside. Now, what's going on right now in terms of the entire U.S.? Well, we do have some severe storms, not only in South Carolina, but in North Carolina, Kentucky, Virginia, even inside of Alabama, Georgia receiving in on some rainfall. We even have some rainfall down towards the south and west from the Four Corners area down into California and Nevada, and then some more rainfall in Idaho and Wyoming. Even in the Northeast, we're seeing some rainfall activity. Now, what about in terms of cloud cover? Well, we do see some cloud cover, the upstate, the PD, even the low country, the Midland areas. We're seeing this cloud cover as we move more and more on into tonight, and that cloud cover will stay with us. We move this over into around 12 o'clock in the morning, moving on all the way to around 5 a.m. or so, and cloud cover is still with us, no matter, what time you're really looking at. Here's 8 o'clock in the morning, moving all the way to 10 a.m., and this cloud cover stays with us. Even as you move to around 2, 3, 4 p.m., not going to be too much sunshine tomorrow. Not going to be too much sunshine tomorrow at all. Now, as we go to move this forward to around 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern time of tomorrow evening, it looks like another bit of cloud cover will be trying to get in, but another little clear spot maybe trying to form in the middle parts of the state, moving into around 12 a.m. on Thursday. And then as we move into Thursday morning, going into Thursday afternoon, cloud cover is still wanting to pay us a visit here, no matter really where you are. So I don't think anyone's going to be really clear, like completely clear, throughout the next 48 hours unless the models change, which is obviously possible. Now, what's going on right now in terms of the entire state temperature-wise? We're talking about 82 in Beaufort right now, 82 in Somerville, 84 Charleston, even 86 in Murrells Inlet, 85 Myrtle Beach, and 86 in Conway, 81 Orangeburg, and 85 in Columbia, 86 in Florence, even 91. Yes, 91 still in Bennettsville. And just to make sure that this is the right time, definitely is. Continue this even to around 87 in Spartanburg, 85 inside of Greenville, and 83 in Clemson, 84 Anderson. Now for our air quality for tonight, does look like that the majority of us are inside of the good category, so nothing to really watch for tonight for the most part. But if you are in the yellow areas, that's a moderate risk of air quality. Not too bad, but not too great air quality either. If you're in the yellow for tonight and you're outside for a long period of time, please make sure that you pay attention to that air quality for tonight. Now, what about for our low temperatures for tonight? We're talking about 72 in Greenville, 73 Spartanburg, 76 in Columbia, even around 79 in Charleston, 77 in Georgetown, and 78 in Myrtle Beach, 76 Florence, and 76 in Sumter, 76 also in Columbia. Now, what about for our high temperature for tomorrow? We're talking about 95 in Anderson, Greenville, 94 Spartanburg, and 97 in Columbia, 96 Camden, Orangeburg, Walterboro, 95 in Charleston, and 92 Myrtle Beach. Heat index values for tomorrow. It's going to be a hot day tomorrow, no matter where you are. 102 in Spartanburg, 103 as a heat index in Greenville, 101 in Lawrence, but those are just the lowest. You're seeing 106 in Columbia, 105 in Aiken, Myrtle Beach, Georgetown, Moncks Corner, all at 105. But guess what? It gets worse. Charleston, Hilton Head Island around 109 to 110 degrees, if not even more in some spots in terms of heat index values for tomorrow. So it's going to be a hot day, especially along those low country coastal areas. And then for rainfall for the next 24 hours, it does look like that rainfall could potentially be more prominent in the upstate. I mean, you see maybe a hundredth of an inch to a tenth of an inch in some spots, maybe even a tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch in areas like Winsboro, Newberry, Greenville, Anderson. Somebody may even see a quarter of an inch to a half an inch. So we're definitely seeing a good amount in terms of rainfall over the next 24 hours here. And, this doesn't even include flash flooding. This doesn't, really include major thunderstorm activity that drops a whole bunch of rainfall. So a lot of areas could see more rainfall than what is forecasted here. Now, what about for the SPC outlook for tonight? Well, technically, everybody in the state has a marginal risk of severe weather. This was updated later on today. Marginal risk of severe weather here for the entire state of South Carolina. Everybody has a risk of isolated damaging winds of up to 60 miles per hour, and we're seeing it right now for sure. We are totally seeing it right now for sure with, again, all these severe thunderstorm warnings that take place from Abbeville to Simpsonville to Spartanburg over into Lockhart and Chester, South Carolina, and then the special weather statements with 40 to 50 mile per hour winds through Rock Hill, Bennettsville, Hartsville, Chesterfield, etc. We're seeing this right now as we progress on into the next 30, 40 minutes or so. Some of these, I think, even the next hour or so. Somewhere close to around there. And so, but back to this, isolated damaging winds of up to 60 miles per hour and some isolated damaging hail of up to an inch in diameter. This is what we're looking at right here as we move over into tonight in terms of severe weather. Now, as we go in and take a look at tomorrow, we're kind of looking at the same thing here. Another risk for severe weather in the upstate, in the Midlands, in the low country, in the Grand Strand, the PD. Doesn't really matter where you are. Maybe the coastal low country area may not get as bad, but you're technically right there, and also it's summertime as well, so you never can really rule anything out. So that's why I kind of just say the entire state has a risk for it, just because you're right there on that border. You might as well be included in it as well. So everybody needs to watch out for some isolated damaging winds of up to 60 miles per hour, not only tonight, but also going into tomorrow. And then for Thursday and Friday seem like the more diurnal days to where we're just looking at regular shower and storm activity. Could see a couple of special weather statements. Maybe could see one or two severe thunderstorm warnings get going. But for the most part, we're not really looking for anything too bad as we move over into Thursday and Friday. Then for excessive rainfall, we move over into tonight. Isolated flash flooding is definitely still possible up there in the upstate. Greenville, Gaffney, Anderson, going down into Columbia, Bishopville, Bennettsville, etc. This is for isolated flash flooding for tonight. If you're in that green area, make sure that you're paying attention for that. And then as you move over into tomorrow, another risk of some isolated damaging winds of up to 60 miles per hour that goes for Greenville, that goes for Gaffney, that goes for Rock Hill, Columbia, even over into Myrtle Beach, Georgetown, Moncks Corner. These areas all have a risk of some isolated flash flooding as we move over into tomorrow. Then Thursday comes in and we take a little bit of a break. Friday, we get right back, but this time it shifts towards the eastern parts of the state. Now the low country is included. Now the Grand Strand and the PD areas are starting to get included in a risk of some isolated flash flooding on Friday. And then Saturday comes in and again includes more of the state, but not really too much of the upstate. So almost a flip of what we're seeing today to where it's really just the upstate, maybe some other spots. On Saturday, it could be not the upstate, and a lot of other spots as well that are outside of that area. So we're seeing a good amount of green here that's going on. And we're gonna have to continue to watch, see what happens here in terms of the forecast here as we move more into the future. Now, what about for the crazy score? Right now we're at an 82. This is the highest score that we've seen in a minute. Definitely one of the highest scores that we've seen in a minute. We have a 65 on the alerts table, 17 on the conditions side, and it's really the conditions that are going on right now that's really starting to push the score up because, as we know, severe is kind of capped, so you can't really go too much further past 65. Here, once you get to around that level, the conditions really have to add up themselves. And it definitely does. We're seeing thunderstorms right now, which is why we are getting pushed inside of that. Why we're getting pushed inside of that 80s range or so. Now, what's necessarily causing the conditions point right there to kind of go up a little bit? Greenville, we're seeing thunderstorms right now. That pushes it up. And also, a lot of us are seeing cloud cover, so the conditions table, or the conditions table, they're kind of pushing us up more just due to cloud cover. But then you're seeing areas to where it's not so bad, like maybe over there near Myrtle Beach or near Florence or near Aiken, to where it may not be as cloudy right now, and seeing some peaks of some clear sky that may not be pushing the score up at all. But that's just what we're looking at right now, an 82 on the total score for severe weather. Severe weather is impacting South Carolina right now as we speak. So let's go on now and take a look over at the short-term models. We're going to start off here with the HRRR first. And as we start off here at around 8 o'clock p.m., we push this forward, and as we get more into like the nighttime hours, moving into around 12 o'clock in the morning, look how much shower and storm activity that we have that still goes on. Even as we get to around 12 a.m., we could still be seeing shower and storm activity in the upstate, still could be seeing some shower activity in the Midlands, the low country. Doesn't matter. We still can be seeing a good amount in terms of rainfall activity. Now, as you move later on into the night, 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning, shower and storm activity, maybe even some more strong storm activity, maybe severe storm activity, tries to move its way through, going into the late 9 hours, around 1 to 2 a.m. in the upstate. And it moves its way down, but it dies out pretty quickly, going into the early morning hours tomorrow. And we start all over again of seeing dry conditions moving into like tomorrow morning, going into tomorrow afternoon. Now that was the freshest run right there. Updated the latest, so we're gonna go back and take a look at the 18Z real quick. This was updated at 3 p.m. today. And watch as we move over into the afternoon, 1 to 2 p.m., we start to see some shower activity, some storm activity starting to get going in areas of the upstate, the Midlands, even the low country getting in on some shower activity going into Wednesday afternoon. And then as we move into the evening hours, even moving on into like the nighttime hours, shower and storm activity still seem to be possible in the coastal areas, maybe even popping up a little bit in the Grand Strand areas by around 9 to 10 p.m. And as we get into the overnight hours going into Thursday morning, could see some shower activity in the upstate a little bit, but morning convection here, even as we move into around 10 to 11 o'clock in the morning, is definitely possible, and it could, happen pretty early. So that's what we're watching for Thursday. And then as we move over into Thursday afternoon, shower and storm activity starts to pop up once again down here for a lot of us in the southeast, from Carolinas all the way down into Alabama and Florida. Now, as we go on and take a look now at how much rainfall we could potentially receive over the next 40 hours or so, this was updated again at 3 o'clock, so this includes 3 o'clock p.m. today. And one thing that we can see already is that, a lot of areas could, see around 2 inches of rainfall, some areas around 1.5 inches, some areas close to, again, just 2 inches. This one over here near the Grand Strand area, around 4 inches of rainfall. So a couple of spots could receive some isolated flash flooding, as we know, for tonight. We have a risk of isolated flash flooding inside of the upstate, and then this is tomorrow. Again, tomorrow, from portions of the upstate down to the northern low country, and then also the PD and Grand Strand areas, those areas continue to receive a risk of isolated flash flooding for tomorrow, and this is why. Now, let's go in and take a look at the long-term future. So we're going to start off with the GFS here. We're going to start off here at 2 o'clock p.m. here on Thursday. And watch as we go on and push this forward. Thursday comes in, Friday comes in, and we get a storm system that tries to move in going into Friday. Maybe Saturday may try to try to bring us some more activity going to like the evening and the nighttime hours. But that's a storm system that could come in, bring in some flash flooding for us. May try to, bring in some cooler air as well. Yes, cooler air maybe on the horizon as we move over into Sunday. And then as we move over into Monday of next week, guess what? Another potential storm system may try to come in. So we're watching for back-to-back storm systems potentially as we move later on into this weekend going into early next week. Now, as we move over into Tuesday, what is that? Another low pressure trying to move its way down? I mean, this is low pressure after low pressure after low pressure, bulge of rain after bulge of rain after bulge of rain. And this, is only around 170 hours out. That's not that far. That is not that far. And we've been seeing this pattern over the past couple of days of a bunch of low pressure systems trying to move their way down as we move into the next 100 to 200 hours or so. And this is what we're kind of looking at here. We move over into Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Things calm down, even going into Friday. And honestly, looks like at the end parts of next week could be a bit dry. Could be. Remember, it could be. Didn't say that it was guaranteed to be, but according to the GFS right now, things could be drying up as we move into the end parts of next week. We'll see what happens here. But even as we go over into the week after next week, things seem to try to get back on its active pace, maybe bring back another storm system towards the last part of August. But honestly, this doesn't really look, too out of the ordinary here. Doesn't really look too much out of the ordinary. Now, how much rainfall could we potentially receive over the next 384 hours according to the GEFS? This is the ensemble, a bunch of members put together. And what does it say? Around 1.5 inches, maybe to 2.5 inches of rainfall over the next 384 hours. Good rainfall, and also with flash flooding, that's going to be more. But, if we really want to see this drought really get away more and more and more, hopefully not see it spread, I think we may need to see just a little bit more. But like I said, flash flooding is going to come in, going to take a little bit of the hit as well on the drought. And hopefully that is what happens here. And hopefully we don't see this drought really start to spread as we move over into the next update on Thursday. Now, the GEFS is honestly the best case scenario at this point. Look at the European, 1 inch of rainfall, maybe even 2 inches of rainfall. So 1 to 2 inches of rainfall over the next 360 hours. Again, not bad, but, we probably want to try and see more rainfall than this. And like I said, flash flooding is still going to play a massive role. I would rather want to see more rainfall than this, though, but that's just my opinion. And in fact, some areas may not even see 1 inch of rainfall, maybe. But like 1 inch, that's like the minimum there. So we'll see what happens as we move throughout the next 384 hours. Like I said, I'm not saying that this is the exact totals that we're going to see. This is an average, number one. And, it's over 360 hours. That's a long period of time, number two. And then number three, flash flooding is not taken into account. But also, just outside of South Carolina, look out there in the west, Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, only 1/2 inch of rain for some areas, if not less, over 360 hours. That's not good at all. Not good at all for them over there in the west. But again, like I said, things can happen, things can change. But enough with the precipitation. What about for temperatures? Because temperatures also is very important as well. We move this over into Wednesday, tomorrow, going over into Thursday, and we're still looking at temperatures around 10 to 15 degrees above average. We move into Friday, going over into Saturday, and we take a little bit of a hit for some cooler air going into Friday, but then Saturday comes in, we're still, like I said, taking around 10 to 15 degrees above average. Sunday comes in, and, we go down a little bit, maybe around 10 to 13, but still not too much of a cool down. Still not too much of a cool down here. We're seeing some cooler air for sure, especially in a good amount of spots, but it's not really for everybody. Now, as we move over into Monday, it's only going to really just get hotter. You move into Monday afternoon, we're around 15 to 20 degrees above average. But watch as we move into Tuesday, though. Tuesday comes in, and we're not seeing that. A blast of cold air tries to come in and knock us down about 10 degrees or so. And it keeps us kind of just staying in the float there of around 10 degrees above average. We move into Wednesday, going into Thursday, and things just start to get a little bit kind of all over the place at this point, just because we're seeing a good amount of low pressure systems, a good amount of storm systems try to come in and try and influence the region. But Which one will prevail? How long will it last? When will it happen? All of these questions are questions that are going to have to be answered later on, because right now we're pretty much actually at 300 hours out at this point. So long ways to go, but watch. I mean, this is late August right here. I know this is a long ways out, 366 hours out. This probably won't happen exactly like this, but if it is to happen, something like this, we can be talking about a big cool down to go into the end parts of August. But that's pretty much all I have to say here in terms of the anomalies. What about the actual temperatures themselves? Well, we go over into tomorrow. We know what tomorrow looks like going into Thursday. Thursday, those temperatures are going to be up in the triple digits potentially, according to the GFS. Now, the high temperatures for tomorrow going to be up into the upper 90s, and if I believe if I go to the official forecast does not say 100. Has a couple of areas close, though, for Thursday. Thursday has some spots 99 in Columbia. And then look at Friday. I'm actually going to load up Friday right now. This is Friday's high temperature here. 100 in Florence, 100 in Kingstree, 100 in Dillon, 100 Sumter. We see 99 in Moncks Corner, Walterboro, 99 in Orangeburg. So a lot of areas are most likely going to reach around 100 degrees or so as we move into Friday. And maybe even next week, Monday. Look at next week, Monday here. Seeing some more temperatures up to around 99 to 100 degrees. So, good amount of areas will potentially receive some triple-digit heat as we move over into the next, honestly, I'd say 7 days or so. And according to the GFS here, it could be more days than we think. Watch Thursday. Already has us up to 102, 103. We move over into around Friday or so, up into the hundreds once again. Same thing with Saturday and Sunday, up to around 100 for a lot of us, over into the afternoon. Then look at Monday. Monday being the hottest day, having us around 106 as an actual temperature. Yes, as an actual temperature. That is very, 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 very hot. For our standards at least. And also got to realize that we could see some dangerous heat index values of up to 115 degrees with some of these. That is excessive heat right there. And in fact, some of the National Weather Service officers have said themselves that they could potentially issue an excessive heat watch and warning as we move later on into this weekend into next week, mainly late week, going into early next week. So we'll see what happens, but don't be shocked if you get that warning and you see heat index values of up to 115 degrees possible. You're hearing it first. This is your warning. This is your heads up. Make sure that you're prepared. Make sure you check on neighbors. Make sure that your plants are good. Make sure that, if you have any pets, that they are not outside for a long period of time. Make sure that you're not outside for a long period of time, especially during that major time of heat. Now, as we move forward into, Tuesday onward of next week, things calm down a lot, like a lot. And we don't really get too close to the hundreds until maybe the weekend after next. Now, what's going on in terms of the heat index values? I mean, we kind of saw, and I kind of said, a good amount around 108, 109, 110 even for tomorrow. Friday comes in up to around 110, 111, 112 maybe. We move over into Saturday and Sunday, and we just stay more into the 108 to 110 range. But then Monday comes in, blows almost all of that out the water. Even by, 11 a.m., we already could be seeing some heat index values of up to 105 degrees at 11 o'clock in the morning on Monday, potentially. So Monday, like I said, probably being one of the hottest days of, honestly, in a very long time. One of the hottest days in a very long time. Even Tuesday of next week looks pretty, hot as well. But enough with all of that. What about, past 200 plus hours? What could we potentially be looking at? Well, just taking a look, I mean, the heat's trying to stay. I mean, that's the main thing that I'm kind of seeing here. It will calm down, I think, as we move towards the end parts of August here, though. But the heat's wanting to stay, even as we get towards the middle to latter portion of August. But I think as we get to the latter portion of August, things start to kind of calm down in terms of the heat. But it's getting back hot quickly. And then that's pretty much all that I have to say there in terms of the temperatures and the precipitation here for the future here. So let's go and talk about the tropics. So we're taking a look. We see that there are 3 areas. The first area that we saw pop up, that area is gone. The one that was headed towards the Leeward Islands, that was disturbance 2. That one's gone. So, not watching for that one anymore. We're looking at disturbance 1. This one did get a major upgrade and actually is now an invest. It's invest 92. Showers and thunderstorms are showing some signs of organization. Um, in association with a tropical wave located about 700 miles southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. Environmental conditions are forecasted to become conducive for development during the next few days, and a tropical depression will likely form within a couple of days while the system moves west across the central tropical Atlantic. So this has a 60% chance of forming over the next 48 hours and an 80% chance of forming over the next 7 days. So this has, again, a 60% over the next 48 hours and an 80% over the next 7 days. This is a system right here that I've already seen a lot of people kind of lose, honestly, hope of it, potentially going over and hitting the U.S. I think a lot of people think that it's going to curve away, and I honestly am one of those people as well, that think that it's going to curve away from us at this point in time, because I think there's just too much kind of going on in terms of cold fronts. Like, remember the multitude of cold fronts and the multitude of low pressure systems that are moving their way down down the southeast, kind of into that Atlantic area. That could disturb this disturbance here, and could potentially curve it away from us. And that's what the likely scenario is right now. And so I think that that is probably the most likely cause right here, or the most likely reason as of why this won't really develop as much and won't really provide us of anything in terms of bad weather. Now, we'll talk about, the ensembles in just a moment for it, but this right here is Disturbance 2. This is the one that was up here. This one actually upgraded a little bit. It's now actually Invest 93. Satellite image indicates that a low level circulation associated with the broad area of low pressure, 900 miles east northeast of Bermuda, has become better defined. Further development of the system is possible, and a short lived tropical depression or storm could form during the next day or so. So we could see the next storm of the season with this one up here. Again, we're not looking for any sort of damage from this one. We're not seeing any sort of damage from this one. I think the next name is Cristobal. Hope I said that correctly. I have to look up the pronunciations, and I think it's right here. It's Cristobal, I think. That's how you say that. But that would be the next name if this was to take it. If the area up there in the orange was to take it, because I think if one of them was to get the name first and both of them was guaranteed to be a tropical storm, I think the orange one would take it first. And then the D name, that is Dolly. So a way easier one to pronounce right there. But we're seeing, Cristobal, potentially future Cristobal, and then Dolly potentially coming in as we move later on over into the next couple of days here. And so that's the orange one done. We know that the orange one's not going to cause us any harm or anything like that. What about the yellow one? This one just popped up. This is a 20% chance of forming over here. Disturbance 3, a tropical wave just offshore of the coast of Africa, over there in the X. It's producing disorganized shower and storm activity. Maybe it just went away. There we go. There we go. It's producing some disorganized shower and storm activity. Environmental conditions are forecast to become generally conducive for some development over the next several days, but that's about all that they're saying there. This has a 10% chance of forming over the next 48 hours and a 20% over the next 7 days. So we could, see something potentially with this. And I've been kind of monitoring it as we've been going over the ensembles in the past couple of days. I have said that, there's a little low pressure kind of behind the one in the red. And so we're going to go in and break all of that down right now. So we're going to go over just real quick and run through this quick. This is not going to take long because honestly right now, not too concerned with this right now. But we're going to start off with, we're not even going to focus on the one at the north. I know that that's not going to do anything. We're really just going to focus on these two down towards the south part of the screen. We push this forward, and the Euro AI, this is around Friday right here. Time up here is at the top part of your screen, not the one on the left, but the one over on the right, which I just crossed it out over here. we push this forward even more, and honestly, this one has a bit more of a southern track. The Euro AI model has a more of a southern track here in terms of where this will go. And it kind of does move away and it kind of fades out pretty quickly, continues its way down towards the south. But then watch the one behind it. The one behind it comes in and, produces a good amount. And then watch the one, behind the one that just formed. There's another little batch of low pressure starting to come out here. So the tropical season here, we're starting to ramp back up quick. Starting to ramp back up quick. But there goes the second area that we're watching, and that one actually has a couple that try to make their way over towards the U.S., and then the one behind it as well does seem to try and curve. So, always make sure that even if the ensemble say, okay, well, we're not really looking for too much here in terms of it making landfall, and it's like 5 days out, you still want to pay attention to it because models can change, ensembles can change, and obviously the first system that we're kind of watching for, the one in the red, doesn't seem to want to do much, but the one behind it could potentially try something. Now, what about for the actual European model? Well, the European model has the first one, again, kind of going out, but actually, decides to keep it more down towards the south. And that's one thing that I am noticing now is yesterday, the ensemble was kind of mostly curved up towards the north. Seemed like the European models, both of them, decided to keep them down more towards the south a little bit there. So that could cause, some issues down there, Caribbean islands. And what could that mean for us? We'll have to, keep an eye out and see. But it has a couple of low pressures kind of grazing along that coastal area there. So it is one, it is one. It even has one going into a couple going to the Gulf as well. But then watch, there's more low pressures right behind it as well. And then finally for the GEFS, the GEFS has a bunch especially for when it comes to the US here, has all the low pressures out here as well. The first one kind of dies out, the second one dies out, and honestly, the GEFS is not too pleased and just not too concerned about anything. It thinks that almost all of these systems over here are going to die out and not going to do anything at all. Is that possible? Yeah, it's possible, but right now, the European models are more on the higher track right now. More on the higher track. Now, if we go in and take a look real quick at the official, this right here is the deterministic models here. Time's at the top right portion of your screen here. This is for just the regular models themselves. This is the GFS right here. There goes the first one, the second one over here. These two in this area over here. Here's the first one, and then the second one as well. So as you go in and push this forward, the first one goes in, dies out pretty quickly, and the GFS just kind of has it dying out quickly, not causing us any sort of concern over the next 384 hours or so. The European or so kind of has us around maybe August the 15th and the 16th before them two just decide to also go in and kind of just die out as well. So the individual deterministics aren't really showing anything. The European AI model, as we push this one forward, kind of has it dying out as well. It actually, tries to stay for a little bit longer, though. You see it almost right by the coast, but gets drawn out to sea again by low pressure systems out over here in the U.S. And then the CMC, this is the Canadian model, as you go in and push this forward right here, moves up and causes some, areas of concern over there for areas like Puerto Rico and over there in, the Dominican Republic and Haiti, but nothing for the official U.S. Mainland over here still. And then the icon, the final one, shows it trying to break through, and actually does break through one of these other low pressure systems, but kind of curves up to follow this one up towards the north. And so there's a lot of things to go in and take into consideration here, but the main thing here is that I'm not really too concerned about the one, obviously in the north, we know that one's not going to do anything. And really the red area either. But as always, things can change. That's why I always say, sometimes I say, okay, well, I'm not really too concerned. But, even if I say that I'm not concerned, always make sure that you are prepared and you have your hurricane plan in place, because you never know when things can change. You never know when things can change. So always have your hurricane plans in place, no matter what I say. No matter what I say, always have your plans in place, because you never know when models can change. Like we saw a shift tonight compared to last night. But that's pretty much all I have to say here in terms of the official forecast here. So we're going to go on and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us here at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say here. My Aunt Lula was here first. Says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Today's high in Georgetown was 93, felt like 97. Currently, it's around 84 degrees. Well, thank you so much for that weather report for where you are over there in Georgetown. Then Mr. Anthony says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you as well. Mount Lula comes back and says, well, a nice day all day long. We did have a little bit of clouds, no rain. Kind of how it was at my house. I saw actually some mostly cloudy, dark skies, but never rained. Never rained. I realized that with the upcoming weather, in order to work outside, I would need to get up early or later. Yeah, definitely. For when it comes with the heat, and then also with the severe storms as well, storm activity. So I definitely would get up early and get that stuff knocked out, whatever you need to do outside. Cheryl says, greetings, everyone, greetings to you. And then Epiphany World says, hello, hello to you. And that's all. So I don't see any other chat here for me for tonight. If you want to go in and put something inside the chat, you have to be a subscriber. You can go in and do so. All you have to do, like I said, be a subscriber, and I think it's for like a day or so that you have to be a subscriber before you can finally type. So please go on. Please go ahead and subscribe so you can go in and be a part of the audience here every single night at 8 p.m. So we're going to start off here with the top fan of the night for tonight. If you have no idea what that is, it's a question that I ask to see who is paying attention. And I think I'm going to ask it for, let's see, I'm going to ask it for the tropics. Actually, I'm going to go to the main, not the main part, but one of the important parts, the tropics. And whoever can tell me what the percentages are for one of the 3 areas of interest that we had, the 3 disturbances, for one of them, I will give you top fan and potentially 2 other people top fan of the night for tonight. So we could have 3 top fans of the night for tonight. Again, the question is, obviously when there's a percentage for the disturbances, obviously it says what's the percentage of this thing forming over the next 48 hours, and then what's the chance of one forming over the next 7 days. Whichever, you can pick whichever one you want. Doesn't matter. It could be disturbance 1 down here in the red, disturbance 2 over there in the orange, and then disturbance 3, the yellow one, the one that just popped up. Whichever one you decide to pick, you can, and you have to do both 48 and 7 days. And I see Epiphany World said 80. That's for one of them, but I also need the 48-hour one as well. So I need the 48 hours and the 7 days. The 48-hour and the 7 days. So that should be 2 percentages, and they should all be stuff like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. So that's the question for tonight. And that is all that I'm going to say there in terms of any sort of hints. So I'm going to let y'all go in and answer that. Again, has to be 2 percentages, not just 1. 2 percentages, not just 1. So let's go on real quick and take a look at San Antonio first as they go on and answer those questions. You might be asking, why are we talking about San Antonio? Well, because we have 4 areas outside of the state of South Carolina that we talk about: San Antonio, Texas; Raleigh, North Carolina; Philadelphia, Pennsylvania; as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about these 4 areas is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly, and because they tune in almost nightly, we want to give them their forecast for them. If you are leaving from the South Carolina side, make sure that you go and hit the like button and the subscribe button before you leave. We've had around a good 30 people tune in and only 6 likes, so go on and hit the like button right now, as we have 24 people that have came in and not hit the like button yet. So we're going to start off with San Antonio first. You have low temperatures tonight at 78, excuse me. High temperatures tomorrow at 100. Low temperatures tomorrow night at 78 as well. In terms of rainfall, no rainfall over the next 7 days. You're looking good. And then in terms of the heat, it's just going to stay hot. Going to stay hot for you. And then in terms of just your future in terms of like wind, because it does seem like that you will continue to be windy as well. Tonight, wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow, 20. Thursday, 20. Friday, close to 30 as well. So it's going to be pretty breezy for you. And no severe weather, no excessive rainfall is expected. I see a couple. I see 80, 40, Under 60, no, that's not correct. But Milo did get one of them correct. The 48-hour one is 60. The 48-hour one is 60. Um, for the red disturbance one, the 48-hour percentage is 60 for the red area. But what's the 7 day? If what's the 7 day one for disturbance one? Now for Raleigh, North Carolina, we have low temperatures tonight at 73, high temperatures for tomorrow at 94, low temperatures tomorrow night at 73, chance of thunderstorms for tonight, and then tomorrow, no precipitation is expected at this time. Now, in terms of your future, it does look like that you will continue to go on and stay active really for Thursday, maybe Friday, and then maybe going into next week, Monday as well. But, you do have a couple of dry days kind of sprinkled in here and there. Tonight, slight risk of severe weather, scattered damaging winds of up to 60 miles per hour. That's a 15% risk of damaging winds of up to 60 miles per hour for tonight. And then tomorrow, isolated damaging winds of up to 60 miles per hour. That's a 5% risk there. Now, in terms of excessive rainfall, you do have a risk for some excessive rainfall tonight, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. So, the next 4 days, watch out for some isolated flash flooding for you. And then for temperature-wise, you're going to continue to stay up into the 90s, but I think once you hit around Saturday or so, you'll start to drop down to the 80s. But don't worry, 90s will be coming back in full swing. I don't see anything new. I said that, I said one of the answers for 60. For number one, for the red area. The 48-hour mark one is 60%. What's the 7 day one? Whoever just puts the number in first there can claim the red one now. For Philadelphia, though, you have low temperatures tonight at 70, high temperatures for tomorrow at 87, the low temperatures tomorrow night at 70 as well. Thunderstorms are likely tonight. Tomorrow, chance of showers there, and then tomorrow night, chance of showers as well. Severe weather-wise, you do have a risk for tonight, isolated damaging winds of up to 60 miles per hour there. And then for excessive rainfall, something, potentially for tonight, and then maybe on Thursday, but other than that, I'm not seeing anything else there in terms of excessive rainfall. Now, what about for your future? Temperature-wise, you're going to continue to stay into the 80s, not really going to reach the 90s. And then precipitation-wise, going to be active throughout the rest of the week. Maybe Friday and Saturday things start to calm down, but Sunday onward starts to kind of get more active there once again. And then finally for Duncan, Oklahoma, the final area, we have low temperatures tonight at 77, high temperatures for tomorrow at 103, low temperatures tomorrow night at 77, no precipitation tonight or tomorrow. And then in terms of severe weather, excessive rainfall for you, you're good. In fact, you're not good with fire weather, though. Thursday and Friday, you have a risk of fire weather. That's a 40 to a 69% chance of fire weather for Thursday and Friday. So make sure that you're paying attention for that. And then again, for your future, you're going to continue to stay hot. You have a heat advisory that goes all the way from now to like Friday night. Like, that's a long time to have a heat advisory for. So it's going to be hot pretty much over the next week. And, temperatures honestly look like that they're only going to get worse. 105 on Monday, 105 on next week, Tuesday. It's going to get worse. But that's pretty much all that I have to say here in terms of the 4 areas here outside of South Carolina. And I don't even know. Oh shoot, what is this real quick? Kind of a jump scare right here. I don't know what in the world is going on here. It says extremely dangerous situation. Oh, okay. This is a severe thunderstorm warning in extremely dangerous situation. Hold on, let me take my attention to this real quick. For Winsboro, South Carolina, going into Ridgeway, South Carolina, and also Whitmer, South Carolina. Extremely dangerous situation. 70-mile-per-hour winds is about to move through Fairfield County and northeastern Newberry County. A severe thunderstorm was located near Whitmer, or I hope I'm saying that correctly, or 11 miles south of Union, moving southeast at 45 miles per hour. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts there. Expect considerable tree damage. Damage is likely to mobile homes, roofs, and also outbuildings as well. So, yeah, that is currently what's going on there. And it's kind of weird because over here at the top area they have a 70-mile-per-hour wind report, but then over here it says an extremely dangerous situation. So I'm gonna check that real quick, just to see what if that's a glitch that's going on as of why it's different compared to the others, or if that's just a reason. Let me check that out real quick. No, it says 70 miles per hour, and that's about it. I don't know why it's purple though. I have no idea why in the world it's purple and the other ones are orange. It may, no, it's radar indicated too. I don't know. That's odd. Why that one's purple and the other ones aren't. But anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say here in terms of the official forecast here. Again, if you're in this purple area, Winnsboro going over into Whitmer and then also over into Blair, Monticello, Jenkinsville, Peak, South Carolina, Ryan, South Carolina, Ridgeway, South Carolina. You're in an extremely dangerous situation right now with 70-mile-per-hour winds about to move your way. So please, 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 please make sure that you are inside and try to get to the interior room on the lowest floor of a building. It says it's an extremely dangerous situation. The storm has the potential to produce widespread wind damage across northern Newberry County and western Fairfield County. Seek shelter now inside of a sturdy structure and stay away from windows. Please, please, please. Again, extremely dangerous situation up there in that area right now. So we'll see what kind of reports that we have there as we move over into like the next 40 hours or so. Not 40 hours, 40 minutes or so. Epiphany World says 80. Yes, that is the correct answer. So you are a top fan of the night for tonight. And then good grief, that's not good. 70 miles per hour, absolutely. But I think we're going to go and end it there because I don't see anything else for tonight. Let's see. Mount Lula was an honorable mention as well for tonight, so we're going to give y'all two a round of applause for number one being an honorable mention, and then number two being the top fan of Epiphany World, the top fan of the night for tonight. That's pretty much all that I have to say here in terms of the chat here. I don't see anything else. And I will be back tomorrow morning with your Wednesday morning forecast update. Also tomorrow evening for your Wednesday evening forecast update, 8 o'clock p.m. Make sure that you're there for that. Hit the like button, subscribe button, share button. We're at 822, trying to get to that main goal of 900. And I believe I did not get any emails tonight. I checked it earlier, but just to make sure, yes, I'm good. So that's all. I'll be back tomorrow. Make sure that you're there. Stay safe tonight, especially if you're in the path of these storms. And hit those two buttons before you leave if you're new.
boom, boom, boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. I love the way you walk, and I love the way you talk. When you walk that walk, and you talk that talk. You knocks me out off of my feet. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. How, 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 how. How, 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 how. Hey, hey. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. I love the way you walk. I love the way you talk. When you walk that walk and talk that talk. You knocks me out off my feet. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang.
Boom, 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 boom. Gonna shoot you right down off of your feet. How, 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 how.
Hey. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. I love the way you walk, and I love the way you talk. When you walk that walk, and you talk that talk, you knocks me out off of my feet. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. How, 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 how. How, 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 how. Hey, hey. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. I love the way you walk. I love the way you talk. When you walk that walk and you talk that talk, you knocks me out off my feet. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang.
Boom, 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 boom. Gonna shoot you right down off of your feet. How, 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 how.
Hey, hey.